Oh guys, now a lot of people hate Infinite Warfare. Even though it hasn't come out, only a couple of gameplays, only in campaign, have come out, and there isn't really much to show for it being bad. I've got here 5 misconceptions that all people who hate Infinite Warfare tend to say to me, and I'm going to prove them wrong in one video. Let's go, and be warned, if you hate Infinite Warfare, you either might not at the end of this video, or feel like a bit of a twat, or just still carry on with your beliefs and just be lost to man. Okay, point 1. What a lot of people who hate Infinite Warfare tell me, oh, Infinity Ward never listened to the Call of Duty community. We told them we didn't want Future, and they still did Future. Okay, well, I can understand your logic behind that, but then you have to take into account that every Call of Duty developer, so that's Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer now that they've added on with Advanced Warfare, they make a game and they take their 3-year cycle to make the game. So, let's say when Advanced Warfare came out, the year that came out, and potentially a bit of the year Ghosts was out, so let's say that's an extra year. So you have a year of Ghosts, a year of Advanced Warfare, and a year of COD Black Ops 3, and then Infinite Warfare will come out. So bear in mind, if they've been making that game for 1 or 2 years, they're 1 or 2 years into making the game. They've done all the skins and the guns. How much do you reckon you would have done in a year or 2 of making a game? Quite a fucking lot, I think. You would have made at least the story. You'd have had all the ideas. You'd have made the campaign, most probably. You'd have made the multiplayer maps. You would have made most of the crap that's in the game. And you would have high-resed it all. Now, how would you feel if you're a year through, right? So you're a year through. If they were making it during Ghosts, you're a year through. Your game is liked because it was fucking liked during the time that Ghost was out. Don't even argue. Everyone loved Ghost when it was out. Maybe a few people didn't, obviously. But it was only afterwards that people started moaning about Ghost because of YouTubers. But that's a different video. They were getting on with their game, they're sorting it out and stuff. If they were making their game in the background at the same time, so that's a year in. By Advanced Warfare, no one had been complaining about Future yet, and they were alright with it. So they had been making a Future game. Now, a year into their Future game, they've been making it and they've gone as much as you think you would do in a year of gaming making. Now, when Advanced Warfare carried on, about halfway through the Advanced Warfare year, then started the hate on Future, because people were getting bored of it, which is fair enough. Black Ops 2, and Ghost, and Advanced Warfare Future, people didn't want another Future. Now by then, Ghosts had been played, by then, Infinity Ward were a year and a half through making Infinite Warfare, or if it was called Infinite Warfare there, or whatever. They were a year through it, and a year and a half through it, to 2 years, by the time the end of Black Ops, the beginning of Black Ops 3. Now, you're not going to quit there, even if your game is Future. If you've made everything, the maps Future, the fucking weapons Future, which they aren't, but that's another point. Everything Future, the map Future, all that, you've based the campaign on Future, and people suddenly start not liking Future whilst you're in the middle of making this, after 2 years, you're not going to remake your entire game in a year just so then the whole people are happy, right? Yes, they have to admit that they have to try to take into your consideration your wants and needs as a Call of Duty player. And why do you think Call of Duty 4 Remastered has come out? Because you guys wanted remastered things. You guys wanted past things. You didn't want future, you wanted modern or past. Now, they made COD 4 Remastered because they wanted to take something out of the past, and it doesn't take long. All it takes is to re-res the skins, right? Because they already had the game. They made the game ages ago. They went through all the hard work of making the game before. Now what they've got to do is remaster the skins. They didn't even change the voices or the sound effects, as you can see from the gameplays. So all they had to do is remaster the skins and the resolutions. That's not hard. You can do that in a year. You can do that in less than a year, I'm pretty sure. I'm not actually an expert on making games, but you know what I mean. So that was helping you. That was listening to the community. Now, as I was saying, by Black Ops 3, everyone started moaning about future. Black Ops 3 came out as a future game, because like I said, they were further in. By Advanced Warfare hating, they were 2 or 3 years into their game. They were 2 or 3 years into Black Ops 3, at least. And most people weren't going to go back 2 or 3 years. So, yet again, another future game came out. It wasn't because they don't listen to you, it was because they couldn't really help it. Now, Infinite Warfare will come out this year. They know now, in the making of whatever games they're going to be doing next time, Black Ops 3 making whatever game they're doing, Advanced Warfare, like Sledgehammer making their game whatever they're going to be doing, they will probably do it modern or World War 2. Or World War 1 for even. Because they have listened to the community, they just didn't have a chance to change it while they were 2 years in. So I guarantee you that if people carry on moaning about future, the next cycle of Call of Duty games, so Sledgehammer, then Treyarch, then Infinity Ward, unless something changes in between those, which is unlikely to affect, as I said, because of the 2-year cycle, 3-year cycle, they will not make a future game again until we moan again about past. So they are listening to you, they just can't really go back 2 years to make a game. That was quite a long point for the first bit, and that was literally it for the first point. The second point, people say to me, Infinite Warfare is like Star Wars. Okay, if you say this, you either have never seen Star Wars in your life, you don't really know what Star Wars is, you just hear people saying it and you agree with them, or you're a complete fucking moron. Because as a Star Wars fan myself, I actually know what Star Wars looks, sounds, and feels like. I have all the Star Wars Battlefront games except for 3, because 3 sucks ass, and I don't have a PlayStation 4. But Battlefront, which is a Star Wars game, is actually what Call of Duty Star Wars would look like. If you wanted a Star Wars Call of Duty, here it is. The Call of Duty 4 Galactic Warfare mod on PC. It was a reskin, and it was Star Wars. It had the Star Wars sounds, Star Wars like skins and people. That's a Star Wars Call of Duty. Not this. Not Infinite Warfare. If Infinite Warfare was Star Wars, then it would fucking look like this. One sec. If Infinite Warfare was Star Wars, then it would look like this, wouldn't it? It would look like this. This with stormtroopers fighting you. And you'd be in the Death Star and shit. Admire my amazing paint.net drawing though. I couldn't be asked to finish it, but, you know. That's what it would look like. Space battles. Yes, that's what makes people think, oh, it's Star Wars. You don't realise, Star Wars has TIE fighters. And has big ass ships. And has awesome flying. And it has all of that stuff. Infinite Warfare has you flying up, shooting a couple people, then landing on another ship, and going boots on the ground again. That is not Star Wars. Star Wars is about ships in space. They mainly do battles in space. They do battles on ground as well, but they do battles in space. And if you're saying, oh, it's not boots on the ground because it's Star Wars and it's in space, okay, so if you're going to be pedantic about it and say, you're not on the ground because you're on the ground in a spaceship, and that's not on the ground, you don't know the definition of boots on the ground. Let's call it boots on the floor. Is that better? Boots on the floor? Because that is still a floor. You could say Call of Duty World at War isn't boots on the ground. Because, you know, there's a couple of maps where you go in a building. You don't call the floor on the building a ground. You call it the floor. So if you're going to be pedantic about that, then I'm going to be pedantic about it. So yeah, that's me being pedantic about that if you're going to be pedantic. There's no fucking running around, no anti-gravity, but that's another point at the end. So that's what Star Wars would look like. It would be a reskinned Battlefront 2, as I said. Reskin that. Does Infinite Warfare look like a reskin that? No, exactly. Listen to yourself and think about what you're saying. Point 3. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is a bad game. It is not Call of Duty because this is way too futuristic. I've got fuckloads of points against this. People say it's too futuristic because of weapons and because of setting. So if you're going to sit there and say about weapons, let's go into that. Let's take a little look at that. What is this gun? This is the gun on the campaign reveal in the E3. I can't even speak. And this is a Call of Duty weapon, right? Does it fire lasers? No. Does it fire homing missiles, which aren't futuristic anyway, but out of a gun? No. Does it fire bullets? Yes. Are bullets futuristic? No, I don't think so. They've been going on since, what, 1500s? And if you think the 1500s are futuristic, I think you're a bit of a retard, don't you? Now, this sight on it, oh yeah, it's way too futuristic. It's a fucking ACOG scope. It's a fucking ACOG scope. It's a sight with a dot in the middle. Is that futuristic? Just because it's square-shaped? No, it's fucking not. You can't say anything's just futuristic just because it's in Infinite Warfare. It is a carbon copy of the M16 with an ACOG sight, as you can see. This gun has, as you can see, if it resembles the M16. You can see the same shape, the same everything. Look at it. It's got a few rectangles on it. You know, that's the only fucking difference between it and the M4 or it and the M16. And that has an ACOG scope on because that's probably an ACOG scope. If not, it's a red dot. If not, it's not. It's a holographic or whatever. I don't know what kind of sight because it's a new game and I don't know yet. But that is not a futuristic weapon. That does not look like Star Wars. And yes, that is anti-gravity. Yes, that is campaign. And yes, it doesn't matter. Multiplayer, if they have stuff like that, it won't be in space outside like this, because this is too OP. And they'll have that, and I have an argument for that in a later point. Moving on. This sniper rifle is a kind of hybrid, okay? Do you know what a hybrid weapon is? It's a weapon that's 2 in 1. The definition of a hybrid is something that's 2 in 1. So if you had a hybrid car, usually it's electric and petrol. If you have a hybrid sniper rifle, it's a sniper rifle and an assault rifle in this case. And you can flip down the sight and the thing, and it turns into an assault rifle. If it's a hybrid, sight, it's 2 sights in 1, and that's not futuristic before you fucking tell me that, because that is in every Call of Duty to date. Except for World War II ones, and older COD games like COD 4 and stuff. MW2 has it, MW3 has it. Black Ops 2 has it, Black Ops 3 has it. So you can't tell me that hybrid sights are futuristic. Now, this also resembles an old sniper rifle, the M21. And why I like this gun is because it actually looks like a sniper rifle, unlike Black Ops 3. But it's just a sniper rifle. Yes, in the gameplay it has blue light. That's a blue light. It doesn't mean that it is a laser or that it's futuristic. It's a blue light. No one cares what colour the fucking light is. You're shooting people. It doesn't matter what colour the light is. It's whatever the light does. The light doesn't do anything. The bullet does. Yeah, no one gives a shit about the light anyway. If you shot and dildos came out the front of the gun, then it doesn't matter. Because that doesn't make any difference to what you're shooting. Well, it probably would if you shot a fucking dildo out of your gun. But you know what I mean. The light doesn't matter. And the fact that the gun is exactly the same as the M14 or the M21 just shows that it's not futuristic. It has a few squares on it. and it's a hybrid. As I've explained, hybrids aren't futuristic, and it's just a fucking normal sniper rifle. Moving on. What does this look like? This looks awfully like the P90. This is a weapon in Infinite Warfare, as you can see. As you can see, there's a robot behind her. You know, that's a huge problem. But she is holding a P90. This weapon is a P90, or a P90 variant from the future. Now, if you're telling me this looks futuristic, you're kind of dumb anyway, because this does not look futuristic. But if you're really going to argue that point, that it looks futuristic, the fact that the weapon is not a futuristic weapon, this is a P90. It may not be called that, like the Weevil is called the P9, is called the Weevil, not the P90, but it is the P90. This is the P90, and this is from Call of Duty 4, and Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare 3, and Modern Warfare 2, I meant. That is not a futuristic weapon. Moving on. Hybrid weapons are also in old Call of Duty games. This is the first hybrid weapon, technically. Like, this is definitely a hybrid weapon, and there are some earlier ones that I could call a hybrid weapon, and I'd like to call a hybrid weapon. But this was the submachine gun that you extend, you push forward the foregrip and pull the handle back, and it'll turn into an assault rifle. This is an assault rifle mode at the moment, and if you shrink it in, it will turn into a submachine gun. That is also described in the Infinite Warfare weapons system. But if you're really not listening to that, they said about the akimbo pistols that you put together to make a submachine gun. How is that any different? An assault rifle turning into a submachine gun, no one cared about that. But then when you get a submachine gun, you turn it into two pistols, everyone cares. It's huge, it's future, it's too much. You're retarded. It literally, you have double standards. You have double standards. If you say this is futuristic, then you can also say that a bayonet is futuristic from World War II and 1, and wars before that. There's a shotgun, an underbarrel shotgun is futuristic. An underbarrel grenade launcher and an underbarrel flamethrower is futuristic. Because, you know, they're super futuristic and they weren't used in 1960s or anything. They weren't used at all. I mean, fucking grenade launcher barrels were used in World War II. And I swear to God, if any of you are like, oh, futuristic, World War II is futuristic, you are actually mentally disabled and need to have a history lesson. That's right, it's called history because it is in the past. You don't learn about things in Black Ops 3 in fucking history class. 1, because this is the game, and 2, because if it was true anyway, it's the fucking future. It is not the past. Fuck. Using that logic, as I said, a bayonet is futuristic. And we can already argue with that. All of you in the comments and in the chat and all that, I don't know why I said chat, in the video who have sense will know that a bayonet is not futuristic. And that is technically a hybrid weapon. It's 2 weapons in 1. And if you're going to be awkward and say it isn't, then we've already gone over the Ripper. And that's not fucking futuristic and no one moaned about that. Also, linked to the point of double standards. So, if you think, oh, this Infinite Warfare M4 is too bad, oh, it's too futuristic, it looks horrible because it's really futuristic and it's not a Call of Duty game, that means no Call of Duty game is a Call of Duty game. Because you do realise, Call of Duty is a reskin of the last Call of Duty, which is a reskin of the last Call of Duty, which is all goes back and is a reskin of the first Call of Duty. Play the tape. Now, you get the point. Call of Duty is always reskinned on the last one. It's just like upgraded graphics. That's the only difference. Maybe a few modes and fucking maps. No one cares about that, because that doesn't mean that it's not the same game. Get COD 4, upgrade the resolution. It's not a different game. It's COD 4 remastered, yes, but it's not a different game. It is a different game, but it's not a different game. It's the same game. Tell me the difference between COD 4 P90 and MW3 P90 that makes MW3 such a super different game. It's not. It's a fucking same gun. Same damage, to be honest. It does the same damage. It's the same as everything else. You know? There's no difference. These weapons are all reskins of each other. Even Black Ops 3 weapons to like COD Black Ops 1 weapons. They're all fucking reskins. It's no different. So if you sit there and say, oh, Infinite Warfare isn't Call of Duty, Futuristic is not Call of Duty, then Black Ops 3 is not Call of Duty. And that means, if Black Ops 3 isn't Call of Duty, then any Call of Duty with, let's see, the Weevil, which is the P90, so any COD with the P90 is not futuristic, is futuristic, and isn't a COD. Any weapon with the XR2 in, which is the MTAR reskinned, or any reskinned MTAR, TAR 21, fucking any COD, anything that I've showed you in that video, it is not a COD, it is a futuristic. It's not Call of Duty. Anything with the M8A7, M8A1 in COD Black Ops 2. COD Black Ops 2 is not a COD, you know? It's not a Call of Duty game. Even though it's titled and trademarked Call of Duty, it's not Call of Duty. You know? The definition of Call of Duty is not a game that I like, or the game that a Call of Duty person likes. The definition of a Call of Duty game is a game developed by Infinity Ward, Treyarch or Sledgehammer and Activision, and it is a first-person shooter with a multiplayer, a campaign, and often a third mode, but the old ones don't tend to have that. Now, if you're telling me that that isn't the definition of a COD, and the fact that you like it or not is, then you're fucking retarded. Because that means no COD is any COD anyway. Because, you know, there are people who don't like Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare isn't a COD, therefore. There's a COD, some people who don't like MW2, Matty and Neil. And they don't like MW1 or MW3. So that means those aren't CODs. Some people don't like World at War because it's too old. They say World at War sucks and it's not a good COD, so it's not necessarily a COD then. Black Ops 1 people don't like, it's not a COD. Black Ops 2 some people prefer, but some people don't like, so therefore it's not a COD. Black Ops 3 isn't a COD, we've gone over this. Black Ops Advanced Warfare isn't a COD. Ghost isn't a COD because people don't like that. You know? So there's no such thing as Call of Duty. There's literally no such thing. Because I'm sure the fuck that there are a few people that don't like the first three. I don't like the third one, Call of Duty 3. I think that sucks ass. But that's my opinion. It doesn't make it not a Call of Duty. Fuck me. Infinite Warfare is a Call of Duty, and I think, from what the proof we've had so far, which I've gone over in the other two videos, the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is a damn good COD. From what we've seen, and heard, and read, it's a damn good COD. And I fucking love it so far. When the point comes that anything disproves me, and something says about Advanced Warfare that it sucks ass, fuck Infinite Warfare, that it sucks ass, makes it really bad, or makes it overpowered or something that makes me not like the game, then I will not like the game. If the game is evidently terrible, if it goes Minecraft style, and the hit detection is like fucking COD 1 hit detection, and which isn't that bad actually, but you know, if that happens, then okay, this is a bad game. But so far that hasn't fucking happened, and we haven't even had all of the modes revealed, let alone a lot of gameplay. We've had 2 fucking campaign missions. That's it. So you can't say that it's bad. I could say COD 4 is bad. The only reason people aren't saying COD 4 remastered is bad is because COD 4 is a good game. In a lot of people's opinions. Some people don't like it. But COD 4 is a good game, and this is remastered. It's exactly the same game, so it's just better. But then other people will be like, oh, it's futuristic. Modern Warfare is futuristic. You guys, that piss me off. The fourth point they make is that multiplayer will suck dick as it's in space and it'll be anti-gravity and people will be flying around. There's several things I could use to disprove this. One, you don't know what the fuck multiplayer would be like, as you haven't had any fucking multiplayer gameplay. For fuck's sake, unless they knew it would work, they wouldn't try anti-gravity gameplay. So if it did work, then you wouldn't be moaning. 3, they've already stated that the game will incorporate a movement system similar to Black Ops 3, which is fucking gravity. You need gravity to have to boost jump, you fucking moron. But 1 point can fuck you up better than all of those combined. Okay, do you remember when I did that video on the weapons in Infinite Warfare, and I told you about the different manufacturers within the game, and the balance between future and past and modern weapons, yeah? Yeah? And do you happen to remember the part about equipment? You know, the bit that said about crawler grenades and anti-gravity grenades. Remember the first fucking gameplay reveal, which had anti-gravity grenades used? Please explain to me why the fuck Infinity Ward are so dumb that they would make an anti-gravity map base with all the game maps anti-gravity and have fucking anti-gravity grenades. I mean, come on, I know I'm a thick shit, but I really can't put my fat, sweaty finger on it. Oh wait, that's because you can't fucking do that. Jesus Christ. The only place a fat, sweaty finger needs to be is in your brain, wiping the shit and dust off of it. You clearly haven't used it in years. Yes, I know you'd die if dust was on the brain, but you, sir, have a secondary brain in your ass. Explains why you talk such shit. Moving on. The fifth and final point that IW haters tell me is that there are laser weapons. I swear to fucking God, you're so... Oh my God, you're a fucking imbecile. You're a mix of a Holocaust deniers, vegan gains, and a wanking caveman, blended into a smoothie, drank by Hitler, shit out, drank by Himmler, shit out, drank by every member of ISIS, pissed out, drank again, shit out, shaked up so you don't lose the fizz, poured into Jacob Sartorius' brain, and transplanted into you by a drunk man with severe Parkinson's. Fuck! Actually, I'm sorry, I took that too far. You're nothing like vegan gains. But back to the point. Let's look at the definition of laser, shall we? Let's take a look, girls and boys. The definition of laser. Laser. A device that generates an intense beam of coherent monochromatic light or other electromagnetic radiation by stimulated emission of photons from excited atoms or molecules. Lasers are used in drilling and cutting, alignment and guidance, and in surgery. The optical properties are exploited in holography, reading barcodes, in recording and playing compact discs. Okay? So this is basically, to dumb it down for you fucktards out there, it's a long burning light. A big light concentrated with radiation, with photons from excited atoms. You know what an atom is? An atom is a little thing, a little ball that makes up the entire world. Like everything has atoms in it. But anyway, they're excited and the photons come from those, and they're used to concentrate light and make it burn through things, potentially, or scan things, or read things. In this case, it would burn through things, seeing as it's being used as a weapon. Does this look like a fucking laser? Does this look like a fucking laser? Bear in mind, a laser would have to be one long light. This is not one long light. It's bullet with a blue light behind it. Whoa! It must be a fucking laser because it's not orange. Bear in mind you can't even see a fucking laser anyway, seeing as it's light. You can't see a laser. It's not red like in the movies. And even if it was for the game, this is a laser cannon. This Advanced Warfare piece of shit. Not fucking this. Fuck me, guys. You need to look up what you're talking about. Know what you're talking about before you fucking try and tell me I'm dumb. It's not a fucking laser. I think not. Anyway, this has been Anglam Gaming. Drop a like if you enjoy my shit. Subscribe even better. And it's sad, really, that I have to say this, but I don't hate and want to systematically kill all Infinite Warfare haters. That's too much fucking work. It's a joke. It's a joke. I know you guys don't, like, understand those, but it's a joke. It's not serious, okay? Seriously, I don't hate you because you don't like Infinite Warfare. I just think you need to think a bit more about what you're saying and base your arguments off more than what Ali A said or your favourite YouTuber said. Because they clearly haven't fucking clue what they're talking about either. You need to look up this shit, understand this shit, and then you might get somewhere. Peace out.